same thing I just said. And I do believe we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today's special Saturday afternoon edition of In the Paint. My name is Angus Black. I'm your host / moderator, and joining me today is my main man, one of my ride or dies on In the Paint. That'd be Mr. Dominic. Dominic, how you doing, brother?
All good, Rodney.
All good, my man. Okay, and also we have a first timer, my man, an acquaintance of Dom. Mr. Craig Stevens is joining us. Your mic is live, sir.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here today.
Thank you so much for joining us. And last but not least, one of my best friends from back in the day, my man David. David's here. David, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Dave, the calm before the storm.
You already know. You already know. And of course, listen, I mean, what can I say? What can I say? I'd be remiss. I miss a certain person, of course, my man, Max 611. Yo, what can I say? You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely missed. I'll just say that.
Most definitely.
With that being said, let's move on. We got a quick, short show today. We're going to talk about a couple of things that just recently happened. This young lady here. Yep. Well, I was going. You know what? I'm going to be insulting. Young lady, man, whatever the case may be.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up your firestorm is coming. It is what it is. Brittany Griner released from the Russian jail. And in the trade, it was actually a trade. It wasn't like she was released on her own. No, we had to cut loose an arms dealer, one of a very dangerous arms dealer at that, in order to get this person home to the United States of America. I'm offended by this. I'm bothered by this, to be honest. I really am, because who the hell is she? Meanwhile, that being said, hold on. Meanwhile, you still have a Marine, a U.S. Marine that's languishing over in Russia. You understand what I'm saying? And yet we have to hurry up and try to bring this young lady home for her own stupidity. That's right. I said it. Her own stupidity in getting arrested over there in the goddamn first place. Okay? And for people that are like, oh, you shouldn't say that. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? If you're in America and you want to smoke your weed, your vape, whatever the hell she was doing, fine, and you use your quote unquote so-called celebrity status to get you out of trouble in America, fine. But you're in another country. Other countries take shit different than America. They have their own laws. And you went over there and disrespected their laws because you think you're a high-profile celebrity, which you're not. But I'm just saying, you were dead ass wrong for doing what you did in the first place. I don't understand why people come to a defense and this whole movement, oh, free Britney. Hello, newsflash. She was in the wrong. Otherwise, her ass wouldn't have been in jail in Russia. Hello? I'm just saying, it's stupid to me. So I'm not a big fan of this whole, oh, I'm glad she's home. No, I wish she still was over there. Serve your punishment. You know what you did. You were dead ass wrong. That's it. And Red, your mic is live as well. Thanks for joining us. Sorry.
Hey, fellas, what's good?
What's up,
taking
Reg?
that drive home. But yeah, my sentiments is actually all.
Yeah, man. Come on. It's all, oh, we want our sister home. First of all, she's not your sister. She's your brother. Okay?
Wow. Oh.
No, I got a lot of. No, I'm sorry. I got a lot. I'm angry, man. I hate this all week long. Fuck all that, man. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm like, yo, and for a dangerous arms dealer, we couldn't get the Marine home, who's been in Russia for a longer period of time. Couldn't get him home, but yet we want to get this chick home or this dude home. Whatever. I don't care. And LBG, ABC, whatever, XYZ, come on after me. I don't care. Come on after me.
Okay, let's let Don speak on this a little bit, since he has a little military background with that.
So does my partner. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, well,
when Reggie came on, everything went blank. But I will say, I'm not going to drag this on, guys, because I brought this up how many months ago? I was wrong with the time schedule. I said the swap will happen. Mm-hmm. This is normally how we do things. You got to have two wrongs to equal a swap.
Right.
And though I will say it was sickening as to what I was saying, it's not the worst. So Biden was involved in the last worst of the worst.
Right.
With
right.
Bergdahl and the Taliban 5, which some of them actually went back to the battlefield. One of them's actually running the Taliban in the now vacant Afghanistan. So while it was bad, the only thing I can say is it was, I don't know if we were hoodwinked, because I told y'all before, since I'm always the only white guy on the damn panel, I told y'all the first time, if she wasn't black, gay, we wouldn't even know about this. And a prime example of that is that Marine was white, straight, man, never heard nothing about him. The good thing is, the good and bad thing is, we found out one of them were there. And then it came that we knew he's there. Now at least we know he's still there.
Right.
So if there's any light at the end of the tunnel, and again, y'all know how I feel about Sleepy Joe, but to be sitting on your mantle now saying the fight ain't over, we're working hard to get this man home. He's been there 4 years, guys.
Yeah.
He's been there 4 years. It ain't like he got there the same day as Brittany Griner.
Exactly.
He might as well be a Russian citizen right now.
Right. I don't care who they swapped her for. I don't. It was like you said, she was wrong. But like I told y'all months ago, two wrongs will equal a swap. But at that time, getting a 2-for-1, remember we were acting fools like the Knicks in the trade. Oh man, we're gonna get 2-for-1, a draft pick to be named later.
Right.
And now we got one.
Exactly.
You know, he could have been an arms dealer. He could have been a mass murderer, whatever, because that's what they wanted. That's how it ended up. From what I'm reading, the Marine got left because Russia tried to throw a monkey wrench in it, and they wanted actually a murderer to be released, and then we'll give you Griner for the arms dealer, the Marine for the murderer, and we all walk away happy ever after.
Nah.
But it's all about the look, guys. It's all about Biden, the look. You know, I got a gay black WNBA player home, so I could rest on my laurels, you know. And
right.
Just don't tell me we're still working hard to get this Marine home, because we never heard about him before Brittany Griner. Don't bullshit the bullshitters, and just be honest. That's all.
Well, before anybody else says anything, we got two other people that joined us. We got the Bishop. Thanks for joining us, brother. And also Nation Hood is in the house as well. This ought to be interesting. So thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey.
There he is. There he is, my brother. Hey, what's going on, my dude?
Hey, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Feel very, very blessed and privileged to be on the show. Good to hear everybody. Let's get into
Appreciate
it.
you. Let's get into it. Okay.
Yeah. It's Bishop is here. So I kind of agree with what Dom was saying. I mean, I know all of a sudden now everybody's morphed into foreign hostage negotiators and traders. Everybody is a foreign policy expert. Everybody wants to chime in to say, hey, we got fleece, we got this, we got that. The thing that strikes me as kind of ironic, I mean, and this is all the timing of it all is what, it's not perplexing, but it just seems like very convenient. Number one, the Marine has been held in Russia. I think he was detained back in 2018. So he's been there for quite some time, but now all of a sudden everybody's attaching this particular person to the Biden administration. I'm no fan of the Biden administration. I'm no fan of no administration, because they all screw us over. But if people were so outraged, why weren't they outraged in 2018 when he was detained and charged? He was only convicted in 2020, but he's been there since 2018. So where's all of this fake outrage? And Americans, we leaving one behind and this and that. He's been there since 2018. And if the last administration was so cool with Russia, why didn't we just make a phone call and get our man out?
Hmm.
Or send a tweet or something and get him out, get him back in the U.S. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, it's like, okay, so if he hadn't done anything and hadn't gotten Griner out, then people would have something to say.
Hmm.
You know, so he has done something and gotten her. This administration has done something and gotten her back home, and now everybody wants to talk about this international arms dealer, which it's like, okay, well, that's what they accused him of. What about the domestic arms dealers that we have here on U.S. soil?
Hmm.
Because every time that there is a
Hmm.
mass shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and the politicians get up and start talking, it's always with a weapon, a commercial weapon, a military style weapon, an assault rifle. So they're selling assault rifles, which are weapons of mass destruction,
Mm-hmm.
on a consumer basis. So we have domestic arms dealers here. Like, is there any reason why we need that type of firepower in regular normal life? So if you want to be up in arms, you should be up in arms about the domestic arms dealers that we have here in the U.S. that is causing havoc here on U.S. soil.
Hmm.
So
So
it's like
basically,
every time
you
somebody,
come after the NRA. Is that what you're telling us?
basically what I'm saying is every time that there's a shooting or somebody can't control their emotions and they
Mm-hmm.
feel like, or life has dealt them a raw hand, so they're going to go get their assault rifles and enact vengeance or mayhem on a local school, on a church or someplace, on a grocery store or someplace. It's always, so why not be up in arms about that? Why not be up in arms
Hmm.
about the fact that they're selling military grade weapons in everyday life?
If I can just jump in there, Bishop really expressed a lot of my sentiments.
Mm-hmm.
I think this whole thing is very layered. On the one hand, you have Brittany Griner, who did whatever she did, and she broke the law in Russia. And we've spoken about this on this show quite a few times about you do the crime, you do the time. But on a human level, I am happy that she is back home. I don't wish Russian jail or foreign jail on anybody, and I felt that um, this was
Mm-hmm.
a case that I can't help from a humane perspective to say I'm glad that she's back here in the U.S. I not that I am a Brittany Griner fan, but had it been anybody, and if they hopefully get this Marine home, I'll be glad that he's back home too.
Right.
But Bishop mentioned what I was going to say is that this Marine, no, very few of us even knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know the crime, didn't know he was being held, didn't know
No,
any of this until Brittany Griner. And that's when his name started becoming part of the mainstream conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Russia didn't want um, uh, to swap for people are saying, oh, we brought the wrong one home. If it had been that easy, Russia would have swapped a long time ago, before Brittany Griner, for this Marine. But Brittany Griner was high profile. So I'm sure that the Russians felt that, oh, we can get what we want for Brittany Griner. Whereas they didn't think that, the Marine that they held warranted the same level of, um, you know, for lack of a better word, care.
Hmm.
So, because if that was the case when Trump was in office, as Bishop said, we could have brought this Marine home. So, um, I'm not blaming Brittany for being a celebrity, and her fame and status um, got her released. Oh, I mean, if I was in that situation, I'd want to use whatever advantage I had. And she didn't do anything. It's not like Brittany was negotiating her freedom, but the outcry for her freedom, that's what Biden responded to, and Biden got a home. Now let's work on this Marine, which I hope that they do. But it's very layered for me, and so on a human level, I'm glad that she's home, and I can, I don't really care about her status and all of that other stuff. I'm just glad as a person that this young woman is home. She made a stupid mistake. But I really can't get into all the politics of it.
Okay.
And I say one thing.
Go ahead, Dom.
Got to remember something, guys, that when you start picking sides, which I'm not saying Bishop did it, the guy was in there during one office, got still there during somebody else. It happens all the time. The guy that was held in Korea, who we finally got home, that was left, Obama, he got home, came home, and died on American soil all the time. So if we want to pick administration, that's not cool, because I told y'all when this happened, there's probably people in other countries we don't even know about. And I told you before, God, as much as we hate Russia, it was Russia. Because if it was China, Turkey, we would never know about them. They'd automatically be in some concentration camp and ball game over. We wouldn't even know them, like what happened to the young man in Korea.
Well, the reason why I said what I said, Dom, is because the guy was here. The guy was being held since 2018, and now all of a sudden, everybody wants to pin the tail on the donkey of
because
this administration.
Nobody knew, Bishop. That's
and it's
the
like,
problem.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, but if you think about it logically, and I always try to look at both sides of it. Like I said, I'm no fan of any of these political parties, because if you take a step back and you peel the onion, you also realize that for the last 8 years or so, 12 years or so, it seems like neither party could agree on anything. Neither party could agree on anything. There was always fighting, this and that. I heard something yesterday, and the timing of Brittany Griner's release, the publicity around it, and all, it's really coincidental with the passage of this, the bipartisan passing of this protect the marriage thing. So you guys can't agree on anything. You guys can't agree on budget. You guys can't agree on packages to help people suffering from COVID. You can't agree on just keeping the country running. You can't agree on anything. But when it comes to protecting same-sex marriage and all of this, one side will say we are the party of family values, we are the party of tradition, we're the Christians, we're this, we're that. And the other party is like, we're the liberal party, let people live, let people do this. They both speaking out of both sides of their mouth, because when it comes to this, it seems like everybody's able to come on one accord and agree to say, hey, we're going to pass this legislation to protect same-sex marriage and so forth and so on. Now, I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I just feel like it's very hypocritical for people to say, yeah, we can't agree on anything. But when it comes to this, they agreed on 39 Republicans were able to cross the party line to agree to get this legislation passed. And then as Brittany Griner is released, the first thing that the White House wants to do is prop up her wife to say, hey, come have a few words to say and this and that. So it makes it appear as if the black woman is the face of the same-sex marriage and so forth, and they're pushing for this, they're pushing for that. When it's like, no, you have many other people that you could have propped up there, many other people to represent the same-sex marriage. The timing just seemed a little crazy. Like the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg or whatever, he's a prime candidate for protecting the rights of same-sex marriage. So why not prop him up there? They keep saying how well-spoken he is and how versed he is on this and that. Why did you have to make this Griner situation the
White House
around the same time?
The female White House that takes the questions every day.
Yeah. So I'm just like, it just seems a little, when you peel back the layers, it all seems to fall right in place and be all so coincidental that all of this stuff is happening and everybody's able to agree and come on one accord to pass this legislation. It's just crazy to me.
Right. Oh,
it's like you guys can't agree on. You guys can't agree on medication. So you got anybody that has diabetes and you need to take insulin. In one state is $800 for a pump, and in one state is $2. And you guys can't agree on that, but you can agree on protecting same-sex marriage.
Let me just bring some people in that haven't had a chance to say anything. We got our brother Craig also. Holla up, your mic is live. Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? I gotta just say this, man. The beginning of this stream was classic Big Brother R, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I like that.
Hey, man.
I don't agree with you, but I do respect it.
Listen, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna speak my mind.
That's what I love about you, man.
I don't care.
That's
I'm like the hell with whatever the naysayers got to say. Listen, we can go to war. I don't give a shit.
Never change, man.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm sick of this society being vaginified and all that shit. Fuck all that shit. I don't care. I don't care. You're offended. Buy a roll of fucking Charmin. Wipe your tears and call it a fucking day. Fuck you. That's it. I don't give a shit.
Bishop, now
Nice.
to give the
I did want to speak on this a little.
Before you go on, I'm sorry, Brother Holler. Before you go
ahead.
I have to say the disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by the host of Independent are not representative of what Independent stands for. This guy, he's a consultant, a contractor. They do not express those views. So please, this is a family show, and I'm sorry,
man.
you may continue. Yes.
I love R, man. I love that, brother.
Love you too, brother.
First, I just got to start off by saying that I'm agnostic on Brittany Griner. So I don't fucking care. Let me just say that off the bat. But I want to ask the question. How many people know why she was in jail? Specifically. Because I know why, and I'm not hearing it.
Well, there's a lot of innuendo. The first said that she had some sort of controlled substance in the cartridge that she was using for the e-cigarette or inhaler or whatever she was using, and they found that in her luggage, and she acknowledged that and so forth and so on, and then somehow it turned into, well, this is something that is for my pain and suffering or whatever it is. But they could have made up anything. They could have made up anything.
The reason why I asked the question is this is the reason why she was in jail.
Okay.
She had less than a gram of hash oil in her vaporizer. And this is the thing that I don't hear people talking about. She was prescribed it. So then my question is this. Does the punishment fit the crime? Are you saying that because of that, she deserves 9 years in jail? Now, keep in mind, I'm not a Brittany Griner fan. I'm agnostic to it. Just using common sense.
I'm with you, Hollop, on that. I'm with you.
Oh, that's the same way.
Again,
so this whole punishment could fit the crime. That's all bullshit to me.
Right?
Because if this was Tom Brady and they put him in 9 years in jail in Russia because he happened to have prescribed cannabis, medically prescribed cannabis, that if he was in the country, nobody would pay any attention. Now I can understand that people could say, well, maybe she shouldn't have had that. But I can also understand people saying, if I'm used to doing something in America that's just a part of my everyday life, why would I even be thinking about that going into Russia? I can understand that argument too.
Different country, different rules, dude.
I understand the rules of a different country, but what I'm saying is, it's not like we're not talking about criminal activity here.
No, we're not. And I get what you're saying, Hollop. I do understand that. Again, the punishment may not fit the crime, but I'm just saying it's a crime nonetheless.
It's a crime, yeah, but it's a crime, but it's not. But there's a big difference between, like you have, it's like a gun, right? In some states, you have concealed carry. You're driving across America, and you get stopped in a state that doesn't have concealed carry.
Right.
Are you breaking the law? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you should go to jail?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Yes. So I'm in North Carolina. Right? I'll give you a classic
I'm driving through your state. I'm not committing a crime. I'm not out there waving my gun around. I have a concealed carry permit in my state. I'm driving through the country. So what are you supposed to do?
I'm gonna give you a classic.
Unfortunately, you're supposed to know those laws of that state. Apparently,
if you're driving, where do you put your gun while you're driving?
Well, you need to choose another route.
So you need to go around North Carolina.
All right. You know what? Let me get past that because there's another point because that doesn't make no sense to me.
Bad example.
Like 9 years for prescribed cannabis, less than a gram, makes absolutely no fucking sense. And if this was anybody but Brittany Griner, if this was Tom Brady, we wouldn't even be having this discussion.
Where was it prescribed at?
No. It has to do with she's
in America.
She's an American in Russia.
Where was it prescribed at? Where was it prescribed at?
In America.
Was it in America?
Right.
You're in another country. That's just
exactly.
Like the idiot.
And I can
like
see
the idiot
that
went to North Korea, and in the U.S. the vandalism and all of that stuff. He's just getting off his white rage or whatever it is. He's just being boys will be boys. So it's acceptable here in the U.S. But you went to North Korea, and you did the same thing. And they drilled a hole into your brain and made you a vegetable so that when you got here, you dropped dead. So different rules for different fools. You understand? If you don't play the game.
So you're saying that she deserved 9 years in a Russian jail?
No. What I'm saying is what I'm prescribed in the U.S. It had nothing to do with Russia.
Right. And I can see that. If it's illegal in Russia, I can see that. I'm not even arguing that. Right. I'm saying that the punishment fit the crime.
But it's illegal in another place.
Exactly. That's my whole point.
And she's not from that place. She's coming from a different place.
But when you go to some other country, when you go to
all right, let's make it personal. If it was you, do you deserve 9 years in a Russian jail?
No, if it was me,
no, don't do that. You got in the same situation. You with prescribed cannabis in America. No, but you can't do that. We're using a hypothetical.
Okay,
right. Very hypothetical.
Would you deserve 9 years in a Russian jail because you didn't know that what was prescribed to you in America was illegal in Russia?
I'll give you something even more simple. You know, in Singapore, it's illegal to chew gum.
No, you not got to answer my question first.
I'm just saying to you. No, I would not, because if I'm going someplace else, I know the rule. I'm going to understand.
No. You can't change the parameters of the question.
I would never be in that situation.
But if you were in that situation, would you say that 9 years in a Russian jail was a reasonable sentence for that crime?
I wouldn't be in that situation.
Okay,
because, again, I'm always forward thinking. I'm from North Carolina now.
Listen, you would not be in that situation.
Forward thinking.
I gotta conceal.
You would not be in that.
I can't bring. Hold on.
Can I put a stop to it?
Wait. I want to hear from our new brother. Craig.
Wait, can I finish the point?
No, Holla, because you're on it. I'm with you, Holla. I'm definitely with you. This brother is chomping at the bit, and I really want to get him in there too. But Holla, I'm with you, Holla.
Thank you, David.
Because I know where you're going with that. I like that though.
Well, there's a difference between fact and truth. All right. The last 3 years I was in the military, I would go to Lithuania every quarter to train Lithuanian soldiers. And
speak on it, brother.
Before going, I checked my bags 2 or 3 times before I packed them. All right, because you have to know the rules and regulations of the country you're going into. It doesn't matter that it does matter that she got caught with it, all right? But she was prescribed in America. No, she doesn't deserve to be in jail for 9 years. She was definitely used as
that's my only point.
There it is.
But
there it is.
Being a soldier or a professional, she's a professional basketball player going to Europe to make Russia to make more money. It didn't matter it was that she was Brittany Griner. It mattered that she was American.
Right. I agree with that. And like I said, that's my only point. Like,
thank you,
I'm not even arguing over the crime. If it's illegal in Russia, it's illegal in Russia. I'm not challenging that.
Right.
What I'm saying is that crime, that punishment does not fit that crime. If that been one of us, I would have been just as outraged if it's a Brittany Griner. If that was Brother R in Russia and they put him in jail for 9, I wouldn't be sitting up here going, oh, well, you know what? You did the crime. You got to do the time. I wouldn't be doing that.
But here's the thing. You're at the mercy. You're at the mercy of the other country.
Of course. I have no problem with that.
All right.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Now,
So as you eloquently put, go ahead. I'm not going to cut you off. Go ahead.
There's another point that I wanted to make. That I don't, and then forgive me if this point has already been made because I came in afterwards. Mm-hmm. This guy, who everybody all of a sudden got this level fear for, was never an option on the table to fucking begin with.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why are we even bringing him up?
Mm.
You got
He was never. Russia was not giving him up. Period. That was not an option on the table.
Optics.
No, sir.
It became.
So why are we talking about him?
It became an option. That's why. That's what happened. And the option, like I said before you came on, the option grew legs when we had the 1-for-1. We had Griner for the arms dealer. Now that Russia knows, everybody in America knows there's a Marine involved. Now they want a mass murderer. They want somebody that's actually been convicted of murder to be swapped for this guy. Who,
right.
Mind you, if you read the story correctly, went there for a wedding. All of a sudden, he's a spy. See, this is how easy this stuff can happen in other countries, fellas.
Right.
They could say, holla, we saw you, and they do it in Mexico, guys. If any of y'all have been to Mexico, trust me, they'll say, holla, we saw you rob a store. Mm-hmm. Now, you can't prove your innocence. You're going to jail first.
Right.
And that's what happened to this Marine. He just happened to be there for a wedding. And now he's, James Bond.
Right.
So now they want a serious killer, a murderer for James Bond. This is how the game, unfortunately, guys, is played. It's not played fairly. Let's just keep that in the back of our heads.
And please, big brother, I totally get where he's coming from.
5 terrorists for a soldier that went AWOL. Other soldiers got injured, hurt, all that nonsense, looking for this kid. And we gave up 5 terrorists for him, which he comes back to America and pleads guilty. So, dumber stuff has happened, people. Trust me.
For sure.
Me and Craig.
And I understand where R is coming from. And I agree that it was incredibly stupid.
Right. It was
going into Russia and not to know that you can't have that. That was dumb. But the price for being dumb is not 9 years in prison.
I mean, I hear you. No. Wait, hold on, gentlemen. Let me take the time. I gotta welcome somebody back to In the Paint forever. It's been since we had this brother on. Welcome, brother Chad, back.
Oh, snap. My brother.
Hey, what's up, my people? Yo, I gotta apologize in advance because I'm on the way home and my phone may die. So if anything, I'll just charge up and plug back in.
Okay.
But how's everybody doing?
Doing
good. Everybody's good, brother. Everybody's good.
Good to see you back, man.
I'm glad this show is still going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm glad, man. I see R with his security attire. I know that uniform. I know that look. Nah, but I just tuned in and I always find it interesting. I always make fun of when we have not only these kind of conversations, but conversations where we purport to know how it is, but then we say things that make you go, "You really know how it is." Like the brother that spoke a little while back, he hit it round the head, and I yelled out in the car in agreement. Brittany, like, why do we have these assumptions? Like, we act as if these diplomatic exchanges or scenarios they are on television, like it's black and white. Like, you know how many people? Is that me or this?
That might be you. Hold on.
Your voice is coming in choppy.
Yeah. Let me try to bring him back. No, okay, go ahead, Chad. Go try it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. If that's me, I'm sorry about that, guys.
It's all good. It's all good.
But you know how many citizens are held in opposition countries back and forth all the time? You think Brittany Griner and Whalen, whose name is apparently a common word in the zeitgeist of our culture over the past 24 hours. Everybody knows Whalen's name and knows how to spell it all of a sudden. Whalen was actually one of the early. No, I'm sorry, not Whalen. Forgive me. The arms dealer has always been one of the targets that Russia has wanted to get back. How you doing? Hey, how you feeling? Sorry, guys. Yeah, he's always been one of the targets for get back. Russia has wanted him for a long time, ever since this Brittany Griner stuff became public. Not only is he a renowned arms dealer, he's apparently some kind of like celebrity out there with his art or some shit like that. So Russia wanted him back regardless. Brittany Griner is not the first person, American or otherwise, to smoke marijuana in Russia or have marijuana in Russia. So let's stop that nonsense right now. Right? You could hear about celebrities smoking weed in fucking hotels and walking around the streets with marijuana. Brittany Griner was used as a pawn. And this is not about how you feel about America or how you feel about Russia or their relationship. But the fact of the matter is America and Russia have presently and have always had an antagonistic relationship with each other. What magnified it is what's going on in the world. The Ukraine situation. America took a hardline stance. Whether you agree with the hardline stance or not, they took one. Russia said, okay, we got this chick who apparently, Brittany Griner, let's not forget, is also apparently a very popular athlete in Russia when she goes there to play basketball. There's a reason why she was held. All right, like again, the stuff is in your face. If you read sometimes and you really pay attention and not just read one outlet or watch one media outlet, you can put things together. Brittany Griner was a pawn. She's a tool. All right. It's really that simple. I mean.
Oh damn.
Oh, okay.
I agree with everything he said, though.
I do too.
Oh, he's 100% right, because definitely if she played in the off season with the WNBA, and she played in Russia, this is not her first year going to Russia, this, that, and other. She absolutely was a pawn because of what is going on in the world. 100%, he's right. 100%.
And it's probably she had a level of comfort with bringing over her weed or whatever she was bringing over. That probably wasn't the first time, and because she's popular in the country, they probably overlooked a lot of stuff, and she had like the carte blanche. But it's one of those things that this ideology that I have, like, it's not a problem until it's a problem.
Right.
That was one of those situations. It ain't a problem until it's a problem, and then it's a problem.
And to the sports note, which we brought up months ago.
Yes, sir.
This is where the WNBA's feet also has to be put to the fire. You need to be doing something for these players so that they don't have to do this nonsense. Whether it's the NBA, big brother, little sister, whatever, something has to be done to avoid this happening again. Because it may happen again. Because you can't afford to pay these people. I brought this up before, guys. 20 years. 20 years the WNBA has been working in red. 20 damn years, guys. Right. And we're wondering why Dave can only make $75,000 a year. Because the league is working in the red. So
you know who for that?
They got to do something.
Go ahead. Holla.
Women.
Yep. I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say the same thing. Yep.
I'm talking about specific women too. These damn feminists. They're to blame for the plight of the WNBA, because there's no reason why they can't support that league in mass.
Well,
no reason.
You have the same problem with U.S. soccer. You have the same problem with. Exactly. So it's not just the WNBA. It's women's sports in particular.
Right. Because the ugly truth about it is that women don't want to go to games where there's no men.
Yes, thank you.
Well,
thank you.
Well,
can we address the pink elephant in the room?
in actuality, I don't know if it's that. I think when the WNBA first came out, they've done a fantastic job with making the league a bit more feminine. When they first came out, it was a league of men, chicks.
Yeah.
It was chicks that looked like dudes. They'd be on the court grabbing their crotch.
They were women's phys ed teachers.
Just let me put it in my own way. Bulldogs.
No, wait. Before you say it, please choose your words wisely.
Why am I gonna choose my words wisely? Fuck them.
Remember, this is Big Brother R we're talking about.
Exactly. I don't give a shit. I'm ignorant. Bulldaggers. I said it. What?
They didn't look like women. They didn't look like women, and it's kind of like I'm not gonna take my daughter to watch a game with women acting like dudes. But they've done a fantastic job of what I'd say, like making the women a bit more effeminate and making it more about, because they have like a lot of women in the WNBA now that are like, wow, she's pretty. She's like, she's really like. And they've done a good job with putting them on the sidelines in the off season, so that they're still out there. They are on ESPN. They're on NBA TV. So they've done a fairly decent job, but they still haven't been able to make that gap. I'm not saying that they're going to get paid as much as the men, but it's kind of like you got to do something better in order, corporate sponsorship or whatever it is, to kind of like get them up to speed, so they don't have to play all over like all year round, because then you taint the quality of your product. If she has to go there after the regular season and play for 4 more months, and then the next season starts in another month, so now their bodies are breaking down because they're playing basketball all year round competitively.
But see, this is the thing, and I'm not going to let women get off the hook with this. How do men get the salaries that they get? Because men support the league.
That's it.
They go to
That's
the
what it comes
games.
down to. That's what it comes down
They purchase the merchandise. It's no way to make the WNBA be thriving and successful if women don't support it. It's that simple.
You know, they should connect. They should connect the two to kind of like the WNBA and the NBA are brother and sister. So then you got the corporate. So now you could feed the WNBA off the corporate sponsorship of the NBA. Would you get the same level? Probably not. But I'm sure if there's a market for sneakers for women, if there's a market for jerseys for women,
they could do stuff. They could do stuff like have the women and the men play against each other when they have the same cities, just for fun type. All-Star weekend could be like intramural. What is it, like men and women playing? Cause I don't know if y'all know, but women can fucking hoop. I know some women who can hoop. Like no. So the level of competition and skill, that's zero excuse. It's just that they want to keep it separate. It's as simple as that.
Yamoja,
what up,
this is my thing. Why are we doing all this tap dancing around trying to find the solution to people that don't want one? Women need to fucking support the WNBA. It's that simple. Support the league, buy the merchandise, do what the men do. If you're not doing that, then why should the league even exist?
I got a question for you guys in regards to merchandising and the WNBA and their fans and whatnot. Have we even seen a woman with a WNBA t-shirt?
No.
Yeah, you see it
around
when they go to the game. When they go to the
game. When it comes to the game.
No, not when you go to the game. I'm talking about. I think you're talking about in general, walking in public.
Right. Because I see plenty of guys walking around Yankee shirts, Knicks shirts, and this and that.
Does any of them even have a sneaker deal?
I think so.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one from Phoenix, the guard Diana Taurasi, I think she may have had some kind of, because I mean, you got to be really popular.
She was in the league.
You got to be really popular.
If women supported the WNBA like they should, they'd be making more money than the men because there's more women than men.
Yeah, because you look at it like the cosmetic industry. Okay, that's mainly women, and that's multi-billion-dollar industry. So when they want to rally behind something, they definitely know how to put their money together. So I'm with Hollop on this. I mean, we can look at the NBA and what the NBA can do to assist, but I think.
But isn't that the patriarchy? If they assist, that's the patriarchy.
Well, yeah.
Well,
why do you want the patriarchy helping out the WNBA? That's
the problem. What I'm saying.
We don't want to be misogynist here, do we?
But we're talking about a professional sport. But we're talking about a professional sport that's been dominated by men. It has a running head start for a very long time. There's things that the WNBA can do to change. I'm sorry, that can attempt to change the business, but it's very hard. I mean, they're not where they are for lack of trying or lack of fun.
Oh no, I don't blame the WNBA. Right. I don't blame it at all.
I always wondered this, right? I've always wondered this. Why do they keep the rims the same height as the men?
Yeah,
right?
Shaq made that.
Right. Point. Like I'm not saying be like the men, but it's a fact. Women, a center in the WNBA is what 6'3", 6'4". Right, so women are naturally shorter. Give them a chance to show off the athleticism that they have for their level, and I don't mean that as women.
But
right?
Chad,
they're not as athletic or as big as we are. So they're not going to.
Chad, do you realize that you're being a misogynist right now?
Give them a chance. Give them a chance to get those highlight reels and bring excitement to the game.
But Chad, let me ask you this before you go any further from that point.
Sure.
Then who are you appealing to? Because you think that the women aren't watching it because they're not dunking?
No, you know what? I don't think it's that, right? I there's a reason why. Because I think this is one of those situations where we would like it to be easier than it is to get the answer. But I think I'm sorry that it's easier to find an answer than we're making it. There's not a lot of appeal for mainstream viewing purposes as for the women as there is for the men. I mean, and it's not just the WNBA. I mean, we're seeing viewership for everything down in 2022, right? There's so much more to do. There's streaming. There's everything, right? WNBA has always had weak ratings. I think women's college basketball does pretty well, but WNBA has always had an issue. I don't know if, but at the same time, we've seen places where viewership has nothing to do with salaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They can afford to pay these women more money if they wanted to. Right?
Yeah, but when you look at that, Chad, when you look at that last year, WNBA championship was on. You didn't know what channel it was on.
No.
You didn't know what time the games. You didn't know what time the games were on. And my thing is, if that is the creme de la creme of what your organization stands for, you got to do a better job with getting that on mainstream TV, and being able to. When the playoffs started, I didn't know what, because I watched some of the games. I'm like, well, what channel is it on? Because sometimes it was only on ESPN2, so you had to have ESPN2, or it would only be on a certain channel. And it's
you should. I mean, not for nothing. If your cable package don't have ESPN2, then you need to call them up right now and say, "What my fucking ESPN2?" You should have the Ocho and Dodgeball on your shit.
Well, that's if
you know what I mean?
If you're rolling with the legitimate, with the mainstream.
Yeah, you know what though? Yeah. Look, I would say this too, and I don't know how many brothers have daughters or wives, right? I have a 16-year-old daughter. She turns 17 tomorrow, right? She's asked to go to Liberty games or Barclays Center or whatever, right?
Shout out to her.
Right. Yeah. Man, forget her. Man, I'm spending a bunch of money sending her to college next year. Anyway, she's went there, right? And when I go to the games, I'll bring the kids things back. She's never asked for a jersey, right? She liked that when she was younger. She liked that there were women playing basketball, girls playing basketball. She didn't give a shit if they were ugly or cute or not. She didn't give a shit. She prefers to watch the guys, right? She'll ask for when she has to come for one of her little school spirit weeks. She has to get jerseys. She asks for a guy, right? When I'm with my wife, we all have women. When I'm with my wife, she wants to watch the men play. When I used to go to Rucker Park all the time, there was a lot of females in them stands.
Right.
they like there's something about, and again, this isn't meant to be offensive to the women's game, because I have a lot of respect for the women's game, but it's what you want. Like it's not, it's what you desire. The men's game, there's something to the men's game that the women's game doesn't have, and maybe
Yeah,
it's
men.
and maybe it's our mentality, right? Maybe it's our mentality. They have the men. Right? We're used to seeing the men, right? Right?
Mine is Brittany Griner.
If you go to
why do you
listen,
think it was
Chad,
so lame that Arya Stark killed the fucking Night King instead of Jon Snow?
Let me say something to that. Let me say something to that point real quick, because what you just said, brother Chad, was actually spot on. And what it is when we talk about gender, just men and women, psychologically, we are okay with seeing men in a fiery competitive match. We're okay with that psychologically, right? In terms of gender. Feel me, y'all. When we think of women, we don't want to see women in blood sports. I'm just talking about when we think of, and all of us here are men.
Right.
If we're being honest, when we think of women, we don't first think about our moms and our sisters. We think about something thick. Most of us, right? We think about something nice and sexy. And then if we do think about, man, I miss my mom, I miss my daughter, I miss my auntie, we're not thinking about them fucking fighting. We're thinking about them helping us with something, when they told that joke, or their favorite dish that they cook. We're not thinking about them crossing somebody up and dunking on them, bro.
Right.
Therefore, when we do see it, like when I see a little ass lady with crazy handles, I'm like, God damn, she actually got hoop, right? She got hoop. But still in all, I'm still looking like, but hold on though, she actually sexy though. She don't look like no dude. Do you feel me? I'm looking at that. That's what I'm looking. I'm looking at that part.
I feel you, but this is my point, and there's no conspiracy, is what my point is.
None.
Right.
Yeah.
The UFC. Right. I remember Dana White said he would not have women fighting in the UFC, and then came Ronda Rousey, and Ronda Rousey brought butts to the arena. Next thing you know, UFC got women.
Right.
It's about the money, and this is why I'm blaming women. If women don't support the is the WNBA supposed to be a charity, or is it a business?
I would say this.
If they don't support it, then why should it fucking exist? How much help is the NBA going to give? Because isn't it subsidized by men? All this patriarchy is going on. I don't like this, man.
but again, you know what's funny?
I don't like all this misogyny. These women need to take care of this league themselves.
But again, viewership and salary are not mutually exclusive, right?
But
they can afford to pay the girls more. I'm sorry, the women more, even though they don't have the viewership numbers. The idea that they can't is bullshit. That's what they're telling people. Oh, don't get numbers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They can afford to pay the. Listen, Brittany Griner makes $22 million in Russia. I think I make fucking more than Brittany Griner as an engineer here than she fucking makes. Or I'm not too far away from her.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I agree
with
right.
you. That's not right.
I make more than most WWE stars.
Right. Nice. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about the WWE's after the performance, right? Predetermined, blah blah blah. It's not fake because it doesn't say it's real. Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, they are tremendous at what they do, right? Mm-hmm. Who would rather watch them fight than Macho Man and Ric Flair? No offense to them, but we're talking about physicality, right? Mm-hmm. Combat. You don't want to see. That's not what you pay for. That's not what you want to see. You want to see LeBron. You don't want to see Sharon. Yeah, I did that.
Mm-hmm. fellas.
But I gotta say, Chad, I've seen Sasha Banks and
she looked good.
And Charlotte Flair in a match, and they can go.
They are tremendous.
Exactly.
They are tremendous. However, when you tune into WrestleMania in March or April, you want to know what Roman Reigns is doing.
Right.
You want to know what Cody Rhodes is going to do. You know what I'm saying? I want to look at Bianca Belair personally.
Let's talk about her.
It depends on the marketing around it, because you say that, and I know everybody knows who Clarissa Shields is.
Of course.
Female boxer. when she's fighting, everybody's tuned in because it's the publicity, the marketing around that. So I feel like it's the marketing around the WNBA that sucks. It's the marketing.
Clarissa Shields is tremendous, but when you say everyone's tuned in, who's everyone? What's her numbers?
Well, when you watch, does she have pay-per-view? When you watch boxing, when you watch female boxing, she's the creme de la creme, and they promote her just like when Ali. When Ali's daughter was boxing,
she's the creme de la creme of female boxing. All the respect to her talents of female boxing.
Well, who's the equivalent of her in the WNBA?
No, I'm saying it's the marketing. I'm giving you an example of the marketing around female sports. So what I'm saying is the marketing around the WNBA, it leaves a lot to be desired, because if they marketed it differently, it would appeal to more people. Like
I get that.
To women. It wouldn't just appeal, it would appeal to a broad, because they keep saying, okay, empowerment. They want little girls to feel empowered. They want little girls to participate in sports more than anything else now, because primarily sports were associated with boys. Now there's the push for females in sports.
Females.
What bigger
Who
instrument?
can they get?
I have a question.
Who can they get this marketable in the WNBA that they can put in that position? Because you can't. I do agree that marketing is essential, but they also have to have somebody that's marketable. Like Ronda Rousey was marketable, Clarissa Shields marketable. You know what I'm saying? It's like these people are personalities. Who is in the WNBA that can take that lead and that they can push and promote the same way?
They have started.
They had a young lady, Skylar
Leslie. Skylar Diggins. Yeah, they had Lisa Leslie. They had what's the other one that works with Shaq? She used to play in Chicago.
They didn't. What's the name? What's that chick's name? Sue Bird. There's a couple other people.
Right.
Can I point out something?
Look.
I just want to point out something, and then y'all can go on.
I think we're going in the wrong direction with this about why the WNBA does. Like, is this conversation about why they have to go overseas to play, or is it about their ratings and their marketing? Because
I just want to point out something, Chad.
Hold on, Chad.
Chad, I just want to point out something that's just hilarious. You got all of these men in the paint trying to figure out how to make the WNBA work. I just want to point that out.
The WNBA sexy. Put them in fucking red pumps and stockings.
No,
I just want to point out that.
I mean, the nature of the conversation was, why does she actually have to go overseas?
Right.
Because
that was
great
conversation.
She has to go there because they don't pay them. They don't pay them because of ratings. They pay them because they don't want to fucking pay
Fellas,
them.
Speaking of being paid, let's get back on topic to what we're supposed to be talking about.
Well, actually, I gotta cut this. I gotta cut this short.
Here you go.
I won't get paid.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta cut this short. Well, we're gonna have a part 2 to this very soon. I promise you. And I want all you guys to come back for this.
Love you dudes, man.
Love you guys.
Great, man.
Thanks for the link.
Make some time in February, man.
I will.
Craig, come back.
Thanks for joining us. And TY,
oh, please do.
Big Shepherd, thank you for your input in the chat room. So this has been In the Paint, a lively one. Thank you guys for participating, and peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Love to Max 611.
Much love to Max 611.